The final match of the evening for the Hoisington Lady Cardinals in the first day of the Class 3A 2012 State Volleyball Tournament. Hoisington 1-1 in pool play. It's pretty simple. You need to beat Garden Plain, the #1 seed here in the tournament, and you need to beat them 2 straight games. If you don't, your season will come to an end. Hoisington, though, no matter what happens in this game, has to be excited about next year with just 1 senior, make it 2 seniors on this roster. A lot of these young gals have played here at this state tournament last year and this year. Not many teams can say they've been to back-to-back state tournaments. 4 of the 8 here at the Class 3A state tournament has. What a match we just had between Southeast of Saline and Marysville. Marysville, the #8 seed, knocked off Southeast of Saline in game 1, 25-20, but Southeast of Saline, the #5 seed, came back and won 25-20, 25-19 to almost assure themselves an opportunity into tomorrow's semifinals. The other court game's getting ready to take place is Hillsboro and Cherokee. Hillsboro looking like they'll advance into tomorrow. First serve goes to Garden Plain, and first point also to Garden Plain. 2 straight points Garden Plain. The Libero and Lockwood struggling right now. Riedel is your Libero for Hoisington. Steve Owens on GreatBendPost.com. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to all of our sponsors for helping make the broadcast possible here on GreatBendPost.com. 3-0 now, Garden Plain. Hoisington unable to get anything rolling here early on. We'll be joined by the voice of Southeast of Saline, Devin Haney, here during our broadcast. He's had some interesting calls here, some great calls here in the state tournament for Southeast of Saline. Now Hoisington's in rhythm here, trying to get things rolling, but Garden Plain is so powerful. They lead early on 4-0. Loose volleyball, here it comes.
I got it.
Good job, Devin. Way
Thank
to
you.
track it down. Pretty soon they'll let you start keeping those volleyballs and get a quarter when you bring them back.
Be nice.
He collected about $1 today. That's a serve that goes long for Garden Plain. Point, Hoisington. (4-1) Garden Plain up in game #1, and a powerful hit that falls over the net right in front of the sophomore Sanders. (5-1) Garden Plain. Garden Plain back to serve, looking to extend their lead, and they will. Lowry can't control it. Let's see if Coach calls the timeout. No, he just steps out on the court and tries to get his club back on track here, trailing 6-1. Back serve again. Lockwood is there, and she's able to bump it up and it's set. And it goes long. 7-1, Garden Plain and Hoisington. Game #1 here in match 3 of the day for both clubs. Garden Plain's 2-0. Hoisington's 1-1. Moore double hit into the net also for Garden Plain. Wilson State Bank has amazing mortgage rates available, so see them today at Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC. 7-2 Garden Plain as Hoisington serves. Lockwood up, Sheehaw, Sanders, and it's hit right back. Moore saves it. Sheehaw goes up and is put into the open area by one of the front line people. That's Dooley up there for Garden Plain. Boy, Garden Plain looks really ferocious out there here this evening. Garden Plain sets it up, trying to extend their lead, but there's Sheehaw Moore back to Sheehall. Sheehall right down the line, but it's tipped out. Tipped out off of Garden Plain. Serve now for Riedel and Hoisington. Hoisington trailing 8-3. See if Riedel can get them going on this jump serve. Back row, Garden Plain, Dooley. Dooley cannot control it, goes out of bounds. Tried to get up for a big hit. She came through. It wasn't a good enough hit. So Riedel, another jump serve opportunity. 8-4, make it 8-5. Is it tipped or is it in? It's in. So 9-4. Hoisington back on their feet just a little. Hoisington fans not too happy about that call. Thought maybe it was tipped out. Sheehall all the way over to Demmel. Demmel off a big hit to the back row, but there's Garden Plain again. These two teams, there's a nice hit by Lowry. It falls over. These two teams played last year at Sub-State. Hoisington was able to win that in advance. Moore serves. Another point. Hoisington's hanging around, not letting Garden Plain jump right out on him.
We talked about this when Southeast played Garden Plain, Steve. When you're the #1 seed, you're playing the #1 seed. You want to put pressure on them. You want to give them an opportunity to make mistakes. And when you don't put any pressure on them and you don't play them within a couple of points, you let them have a 6 or 7 point lead, they don't feel any pressure. They play relaxed and they play well. And right now, Hoisington seems like they are going to settle in here and put some pressure on Garden Plain and make this interesting. They're within 2 now.
9-7. The sophomore Moore continues to serve. Garden Plain will set it up and try to regain momentum, and they will. It's in. Right inside the back line. The Hoisington fans right behind their team, trying to root them on. I think Garden Plain brought their entire student section as they're in the tie-dye shirts here at the state tournament. A lift called on Lockwood. She couldn't get her hands up in time. That was a solid serve that came right at her towards the face area. This is Dooley serving. She's just a sophomore for Garden Plain, and that's another serve right down the line. Back-to-back serves right in the same area for Dooley, and Lockwood cannot control either one of them, so coach calls in for a sub, and we're going to see a freshman, Ludwig, for the first time here in this tournament. So we've seen 2 freshmen play for Hoisington. Not much. This time the serve down that line goes out of bounds. Dooley likes to take it down that sideline, and she tried to put her eggs in that basket way too many times.
Over on Court B right now, Hillsboro playing Cherokee Southeast. Hillsboro, the defending champion in Class 3A. They come into this tournament with just 3 losses. Garden Plain, their #1 seed, also has just 3 losses. Both come in with a 37-3 record. Hillsboro looks like they will advance. They already are 2-0. Silver Lake also picked up their second win. They defeated Wellsville. So Silver Lake setting at 2-1. Their lone loss to the Hillsboro Trojans.
Sheehall could not control the serve. It goes off of the right side of her arm, and it goes out of bounds. Coach calls a timeout for Hoisington. Gives us a chance to remind you that at Flyover Cafe in Sault-Saint tonight, it's the one-man band. Charles Williams Experience, but then the big party's tomorrow night in Sault-Saint. Flyover Cafe, prime rib, starting at 5. The band Dirt. That's how they like to be introduced. You can't just say dirt, you got to say the band Dirt. I don't know if they bring dirt with them or what, but I heard they're pretty good, and they'll be playing starting at 9 tomorrow. They'll be rocking the house. Wear your costume tomorrow. Tell Michelle hi for us. Still like to have my chicken fried steak. She keeps telling me she's going to make one for me. I guess I need to go over there before she can make it, though. Right now, Garden Plain is making easy work of Hoisington, 14-8. Southeast of Saline held off Marysville. Had to go 3 games to do it. Lost game 1, won the next 2. They're finished 2-1 in pool play. Marysville will not advance to the semifinals like they did last year. They fall to 0-3. Out of the timeout for Hoisington. They're trying to regain serve. Sheehaw served, or sets it up for Damel. Damel, nice power hit, but it's a dually off the back row. Now coming back at you is Lockwood. Lockwood again. There's the freshman libero for Garden Plain. Another freshman playing really well. How about both of these teams going back and forth right now?
Yeah, nice volley right here. Good action at the net. Both these teams are middle net attackers, and they really don't have much on the outside for hitters unless Garden Plain has their main hitter up there, and that is Cassidy Howcamp. But Howcamp right now in the back row, so both of these teams viciously attacking the middle of the net.
Now Cap wears number 3, and there's that middle hit for Lockwood for Hoisington. And now Sheehaw has to save it in the middle. Both of these teams going back and forth. Hoisington wants to get back to the Saturday action. They need a win though. They trail 15-8, make it 16-8. Garden Plain just has so many power hitters up and down their lineup. They can hit you from anywhere on the floor. They show you another opportunity right there. Showing you why they are the #1 seed here at the tournament. Now Hoisington's falling apart. Not lost the communication right there. No matter what happens, I am so glad to see Hoisington hold their composure this year with a new head coach and get back here to the state tournament. Lockwood, though, tries to keep it going for Hoisington, trailing 17-8. Now Garden Plain will try to get it back. There's Moore. Up to Sheehaw. Sheehaw over to Damel of nice hit. Lockwood saved it after Moore saves it from going to the floor. Nice dig by Moore. Back and forth we go. 4 hits. Garden Plain. Riedel comes off the floor. Sanders back on the floor. She has Lowry and also Lockwood on the front row. Moore, Damel, and also Sheehaw on the back row. Jump serve, Damel. Nice jump serve by the sophomore. Sheehaw up to Sanders. It's blocked. Nope, they're all lift. Lift, I believe, on Lockwood. Damel out. Your libero back onto the floor. That's Michaela Riedel, one of the 2 seniors. The other one's Lowry. Riedel made all tournament selection last year here at the state tournament. Point coming back towards Hoisington. They now have 10. Garden Plain with 18. Lockwood needs to put a roll here together. There's a new player in. This is Bitter. Now Bitter seeing her first action of the tournament. For Hoisington, jump serve. Bitter can't get it over. Bitter will come off. Lockwood back onto the floor. Now they're calling Bitter back onto the floor. Too quick, subbing. Just subbed too quick, did Hoisington. The official had to call him back and have him serve again. 18-10 is the score. Garden Plain up by 8. Steve Owens, Devin Haney with you on GreatBendPost.com. That ball is in just barely as Riedel ducked, thinking it might be in. Timeout called by Hoisington. It'll be their final timeout. We'll thank more of our sponsors here. Town & Country Supermarket in Hoisington. Randy's been around a while, and his family's been involved in the supermarket business there in Hoisington for many years. And we always thank Randy and Town & Country Supermarket. They have some of the best meat around, their freshest meat department, a great service by their deli department. Also, Nicholson Rickey Funeral Home. They're pleased to help bring you the Cardinal Sports broadcast here at the state tournament. All the best to the athletes, coaches, and fans of Hoisington Cardinal Sports from Nicholson Rickey Funeral Home. Boxberger Automotive Service, Laverne and Roxy Boxberger with Boxberger Automotive Repair in Hoisington. Wishing the Lady Cardinal volleyball team good luck here at the state volleyball tournament. Also, Superior Exits X's. Proud supporter of Cardinal athletes. Good luck, Lady Cardinal volleyball team. Here's the state tournament from Superior Essex of Hoisington. 20-10 is the score. Garden Plain up. Salina South ends great men's football season 56-21. Backup running back for Salina South runs for 5 touchdowns, 25 carries, 413 yards. Unbelievable.
Backup running back?
It's a backup running back for Salina South. Hoisington on the board again, 11 points. Garden Play with 20. Lowry will serve, the other senior on this club. The libero, just a freshman, another power stroke right there. Up front, Dooley, sophomore. Excuse me.
Garden Plain, a substitute here. Coming back into the game, they're going to send Allie Heimerman, one of their seniors, into the game. Talked earlier in the broadcast about Garden Plain, one of the more senior-dominated teams here at the state tournament.
21-11 is the score. Garden Plain up in front. 21 to make it 22-11 now as Garden Plain starting to close the door, and Southeast of Saline fans are starting to smell it up in the stands because they know if Garden Plain wins just one game, they are guaranteed a spot into tomorrow's round. Southeast played a great game here this afternoon against their opponents, and Hoisington I thought would be able to knock them off. And Hoisington could not do it. Now Hoisington remains alive, down 22-12. Here comes one of the seniors. That's Riedel for Hoisington. Beautiful jump serve. She's had some nice serves, and there's that power hitter again. Cassidy Hawkcap, the senior. Wellsville's a team that here at this state tournament, everybody listed in the roster at 4'10". As a coach, Devin, do you just do that on purpose or what? I don't get that. Nice hustle by Riedel going after it. The ball goes out of bounds. 24-12. One more point needed to wrap up game number 1 for Garden Plain. Here comes a serve by Dooley. Garden Plain up 24-12, make it 25-12. That ball is hit long by Sheehaw. Southeast of Saline will advance to the Saturday competition, 25-12. Garden Plain wins game 1. Hoisington had to win both games. The first 2 games had to sweep Garden Plain to give themselves the shot of advancing into tomorrow.
And that will get the Southeast of Saline faithful up off their seats, as they know now they are advancing to the semifinals tomorrow. As you said, Hoisington needed to win over Garden Plain in 2 games, and they did not do that, dropping their first game. High fives all the way around for the Southeast of Saline folks. They know they're locked in tomorrow to start semifinal play here at the 3A state tournament. They will be one of the top 4 teams, and they will start action at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Hoisington, on the other hand, will not advance into tomorrow's round, but I'm sure they still want to come out and try to win these next 2 games, knock off Garden Plain. Hoisington has to like their team, though. I mean, they made it to the state tournament, and quite honestly, I don't know if many people thought they'd be able to do that at the beginning of the year, a brand new head coach, but he kept the team together, and he kept them moving forward, and they succeeded in making it here to the state tournament, led by just 2 seniors, Olivia Lowry and Michaela Riedel. 3 freshmen on the roster, make it 4 freshmen on this roster here at the state tournament. 4 sophomores, a couple of juniors. Garden Plain has 6 seniors. Looking up and down the roster, Southeast of Saline with just 1 senior. Marysville, they had 5 seniors. A lot of those seniors didn't play much, though, for Marysville. First Kansas Bank, another one of our Hoisington State volleyball sponsors. First Kansas Bank, financial strength, solid values, common sense. First Kansas Bank is people you know in Hoisington, and Great Bend and Claflin, member FDIC. Also Cardinal Bowl, Gary Boxberger and friends, as they congratulate the Hoisington Cardinals for making it back to the state tournament. Cardinal Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart Pharmacy, proud supporter of the Hoisington Cardinals. And Health Mart Pharmacy, they take time to get to know you and answer any questions you may have. Caring for you and about you, Cardinal Pharmacy. Marion Wilborn, your Keller Real Estate agent. Very proud to sponsor Hoisington Cardinal Sports. You're in the market for a home. You know Marion knows what's going on. Contact Marion Wilborn with Keller Real Estate. She's a proud supporter of all Hoisington athletics. 1-0 starting off quickly for Garden Plain. Garden Plain's up 2-0. Hoisington cannot get the ball back over the net. Serve to the back row for Hoisington, into the net. Garden Plain is. They put those three blockers right smack dab in the middle. They force you to go around them. The libero freshman comes off the floor for Garden Plain. Make it 3-1, Garden Plain up. Three to 2 now for Garden Plain. Garden Plain with some powerful hitters. Hoisington and Garden Plain doing battle here. The final match of the day here on Court A. A block by Garden Plain in the middle on Jordan Moore. Into the net. Nope, 2 hits. 2 hits called on Hoisington. Plain up 4-2. The Owls from Garden Plain in their black, trimmed in white and yellow. It'll be Garden Plain and southeast of Saline High School advancing out of the state into the state tournament semifinals. Saturday action. Five to 2 now. Garden Plain is up, and Hoisington will get served back after Garden Plain could not control the ball in the middle. Kind of seems like both teams just going through the motions here, trying to get through it. Hoisington, on the other hand, wants to continue to play as hard as they can. They'd love to pull off a big win here. Get these next 2 games. Only trailing by 2. Make it now by 1, 5-4. Garden Plain trying to regroup. Big jump serve by the senior Riedel. Now Dooley with a big hit, but it's saved off that back row. Now coming at you with Hoisington's big hitters up front. There's Lowry, Sheehaw, Moore. It's tipped at the front, saved in the back row by Garden Plain. Now Dooley gets it over. Back to Sheehaw, coming around the backside's Moore. Nice hit by Moore, ties it up at 5. 5-5, game number 2. Game 1 went to Garden Plain. 6-5 now. Garden Plain serving with a 1-point advantage. Class 3A state volleyball tournament. Salina, Kansas. Ball goes long. Hoisington crowd thought it was tipped. Official says nope, not tipped. Didn't see it. 7-5. Garden Plain's up 2. Dooley serves. Now Garden Plain's up 8-5. Timeout called. Gives us a chance to thank more of our sponsors and to get you updated on what's taking place here at the state tournament. Hoisington Rec Commission. Don't forget tomorrow night at the Activity Center in Hoisington, it's Haunted Hall, 6 to 8. Support from the FCCLA and area businesses. You can contact the Hoisington Rec Center tomorrow if you have more questions on that. Don't forget to get signed up for after school crafts, kindergarten through 4th grade. And you also youth volleyball camp, grades 1st through 6th. USD 431 provides all students an education that provides necessary skills for lifetime learning and prepares them for the future. USD 431, Hoisington Public Schools. Wilson State Bank has amazing mortgage rates available to see them today. An equal housing lender, member FDIC. My good buddy, the good doctor, Dr. Blake Harris. Mr. Mike Hesher and the good doctor will bring you play-by-play coverage of Hoisington football Tuesday night on the road at Holcomb, first round of the playoffs. A nice block by Jordan Moore at the front. Found the area in the back row of Garden Plain. 8-6 now. Owls leading. Hoisington serves. Trying to get it within 1. Sheehaw serves to Lockwood. Lockwood, yes! Falls off of the outstretched arms of Garden Plain. Steve Owens with you, along with my buddy Devin Haney. GreatBendPost.com. Thanks for tuning in all day long on all the post sites. Great Bend Post, Salina Post. We got you covered from Salina to Great Bend. That ball is tipped. That ball is tipped by the front row of Garden Plain, and it goes out of bounds. Hoisington has come back to tie this game up. Game number 2. Game 1 was won by Garden Plain. It was a game that secured him. Now going for a soccer kick style. I've never seen that in volleyball. That would have been illegal, I'm sure. I don't know. Can you kick it?
No.
You can't kick it?
No, sir.
Can you kick it in volleyball? You can kick?
You can.
Well, I got to kick. Somebody said you can kick it. You can kick it in volleyball? I'm pretty sure. Let's just go. New rules. Everybody put your hands down. We are using our feet. Well, that arm worked just fine. Dooley with a big kill.
Yeah, Dooley is the unheralded player, I think, on this team. She doesn't get a lot of attention. She's kind of the quiet assassin. She really had a good game against Marysville early on for Garden Plain. She came out against Southeast of Saline and played really well. And she has really been a nice player for Garden Plain here so far in this tournament.
Lockwood trying to get it back for Hoisington. The score is tied at 9. We're in game 2. There's a big hit. And it goes long right over to us. I got it. I'm keeping it. I will not give it back. I'm going to throw it way over there. I had to give that one back, though. I tried to keep it. It wouldn't let me. Hoisington now leads 10-9 over Garden Plain in game number 2. Sheehaw with a jump serve. Dooley again, keeping it in play for Garden Plain. Lockwood right in the middle. Now Garden Plain falling apart just a little bit. Let's see if the coach calls a timeout to slow things down. They will. 11-9, Hoisington.
Hoisington doing a nice job fighting back here, taking the lead 11-9. And really, when you look at this, it's all hard for Hoisington. pretty much been eliminated. You know, they're just out there basically playing. I mean, it's state tournament. You got to play hard. You got to finish out your season, but no chance to advance tomorrow. That's already been locked up by Garden Plain and southeast of Saline. And it looks like at this point, Steve, it will be a four-way dance between southeast of Saline and Garden Plain out of Pool A. Out of Pool B, or Court B, Pool 2, it'll be Silver Lake. And I believe it will be the defending champion, Hillsboro Trojans.
Hillsboro still has the best player in the state on their club. She's a senior this year. She's an unbelievable player. Out of the timeout called by Garden Plain, they trail 11-9 to Hoisington here in game number 2. Nice jump serve that falls in there for Sheeha. It's 12-9 now. Hoisington. Sheeha continues with that brilliant jump serve. Hoisington hits it. Make it Garden Plain, hits it long. Hoisington extending that lead now, 13-9. Game number 2. Nice to see Hoisington come back and win this game and send it to a game 3. Make things a little more interesting. Nice save by Garden Plain as Dooley slides out the back of the court. Now they'll set it up right in the middle for Lockwood, but Lockwood cannot slam it down. Nice save by Garden Plain. A nice tip all the way back, and there's a big hit, but saved by Dooley on the back row. Lockwood. Sheeha right back to Lockwood. It cannot come down. That's Damel actually hitting it. How about that battle? There's that middle. That middle has cost so many teams points here today. 13-10. It's Hoisington out in front. Game number 2. State tournament. Class 3A Salina Bicentennial Center. Hoisington's now up by 4, 14-10. Steve Owens with you, GreatBendPost.com, live web TV coverage, along with my buddy Devin Haney. Damel will serve, jump serve. Up front, now a little lob right over the front of the net. There's Sheeha again, back over to Sanders on the right side. Hoisington's going right after. Hoisington's playing some good volleyball. That's a long hit, though. 14-11. Garden Plain will get the serve back, trailing by 3. Serve into the net, Garden Plain. Now trailing by 4, 15-11. Lockwood serves. A big hit in the middle by Dooley. Saved by Hoisington. Now Sanders. Sanders can't control it. Over the net, it's blocked right back at Hoisington.
Garden Plain just so good at the net. They have a lot of net defenders. They cover the whole net really well. They do a nice job blocking, and they took that point away from Hoisington there to get served back. See how Garden Plain responds here. Down by 3 about halfway through this match, 15-12. Hoisington leading, and Garden Plain now back in control of the serve.
Sheeha, Sander, blocked right back at Sander, and Sander hits it under the net. Garden Plain now climbing right back in it, trailing 15-13. Not very often you hear the buzzer go off here at volleyball.
That's what I was looking at.
Looking for a sub coming in. Rito back row. Garden Plain trying to regroup, and Hoisington saves it. Unbelievable save by Sheehan Moore. Right in the middle, back to Moore. Hoisington trying to gain momentum, and they will get another point. 16-13, Hoisington out in front. Watching Coach Rodriguez, who's the coach for Southeast of Saline, making her way back in here a little bit, just to make sure that Southeast of Saline's made it. She came over here to the media table to get some clarification. 16-13, Hoisington looking pretty good here in game number 2, playing exceptional. There's a block that's missed by Jordan Moore. She couldn't get her arms up in time. A hit off of her left arm and falls down.
That's the big hitter again for Garden Plain, Cassidy Howcamp. Coming off that light side. You never see her really come off the right-hand side. She always comes off the left-hand side in a position of power. She's done pretty well over there on that side.
Howcamp, a big player for this club. That's Dooley, just a sophomore. Number 7. She's a pretty good player as a sophomore.
That's pretty impressive.
Howcamp, Moore to Sheehaw. Sheehaw tips it over with the right. Howcamp and Dooley now doing battle right in the middle. There's Jordan Moore. How about the way Garden Plain covers up the middle? That's what a lot of teams have not done here today. Now 4 hits called on Garden Plain. Hoisington up by 2, 17-15.
Yeah, if you watch during a volley, if you watch Garden Plain's back row, they come up and they cover that middle of the floor. If there's something hit over the top of them, they have time to recover. But when the ball is in action, that back row comes up and they're involved in the center of the floor. So there's no dropping the ball into the middle of the floor there in that dead spot because the dead spot's covered up by Garden Plain's back row. You look at the back row and the ball's in action. On the other side of the net, there's really nobody back here for Garden Plain. They all have the middle covered.
17-16, Garden Plain back within a point. They will get served with the sophomore Dooley. Now they've tied it up 17-all. Very impressed with Dooley. Number 7 serving the volleyball. A sophomore. At 5'8", you wonder if she's done growing. She's a pretty good athlete. Jordan Moore tried to get her feet set. There's that buzzer going off again. I'm just not used to a buzzer in volleyball. It's just not something you hear very often. That basketball game behind us. Volleyball in front of us. Not really. 18-17 now. Hoisington out in front in game number 2. 4 hits called on Hoisington, tied up at 14. We're tied up at 18. Hillsboro putting a thump down on Cherokee right now. 12-2 in game number 2. Jump serve by the freshman, the lone freshman on this club for the Garden Plain Owls. The libero, Doyle. And Doyle cannot get it over the net. Number 4 and number 7 are sisters. Number 4 is your setter. She's a Dooley also. She's only 5'6". And now about Garden Plain. Needing to slow it down a little bit, calling their final timeout. Hoisington up by 2, 20-18. Hoisington is not going away without a big fight. Let's thank some of our sponsors again. Again, we couldn't make it possible here at the state volleyball tournament without all of our fine sponsors. USD 431, Wilson State Bank, Kathy Burt State Farm, your insurance agent in Hoisington. Like a good neighbor, Kathy Burt and State Farm is there for you. Donald Reif Jr., attorney at law. As a fan, you have a right to enjoy good sportsmanship as well as the responsibility to practice it. Donald E. Reif Jr., attorney at law, reminds you that at all high school sporting events, it is the student athlete who is supposed to be the center of attention, not the fan in the stand. Donald E. Reif Jr., attorney at law, located on Main Street in Hoisington. Jump serve by Sheehaw, and Hoisington leading here in game 2, 20-18. They lost game 1. In the middle, Lockwood. It's hit, bounced right back to her, and Garden Plain hits it long. Jordan Moore out of position. 20-19 now. Garden Plain will serve, a chance to tie it up. Garden Plain trying to get a sweep. They don't want to lose any game here at the state tournament. Garden Plain will serve. This is Bourne, the senior, serving. Lowry can't get it in over the net. It's tied up at 20-all. Bourne looks up at the clock, up in the corner of the wall. And it says it's 2020. Garden Plain won game one. They're into tomorrow's round. Make it 21-20. Garden Plain up in front. Could be their first lead since way early in this match. Hoisington football on Great Bend Post and 100.7 Eagle Country this coming Tuesday night on the road in Holcomb. The Longhorns and Lady Cardinals, or the Cardinals football team, the Lady Cardinal volleyball team trying to fight back against the Owls of Garden Plain, but Garden Plain has regained the lead, 21-20, make it 22-20. Hoisington calls their final timeout of game two, and the Owls are making some noise here in the Salina Bicentennial Center. It's been a long day here at the Bicenter for a lot of people, especially the workers. Most of these workers here have been here all day long. The first game of the day started off at 8:30 in Class 4A. McPherson's one of the teams that's made it from the area. Also, Rossville has made it. The number one seeded team in Class 4A did not advance. Topeka Hayden, they made it to the semifinals tomorrow in Class 4A. Chanute was a number 4 seed and they did not advance. It's Topeka Hayden and McPherson from Pool 2, and it's Rossville. Lewisburg made that. 22-21 out of the timeout. Hoisington gets point, and they'll get served back with a chance to tie this game up. (22-21). Hoisington trying to tie it up, and they will. Hoisington came in as the number 4 seed. Garden Plain, the number 1 seed, just 3 losses on the year. Hoisington 8 losses. 22 all, game number 2. Hoisington trying to get the lead back. They will not. Garden Plain will. What a volley by both teams right there. Great effort. (23-22). Garden Plain will try to close it out by serving it. Jump serve over the net. Sheehaw will set it up, and it goes out of Garden Plain. In play, tied up 23s. 23 all. Hoisington's Lockwood will serve a little long, but it's in play. Garden Plain trying to get it back, and it goes long. No, yes it does. It does. So Hoisington right here with a chance to send it to game number 3. The fans from Hoisington on their feet. Lockwood to serve. It's a high serve. Dooley will set it up to her sister Dooley, and it's right down the line, and it bounces around. And we're tied up at 24 apiece. We're going to have to go to extras. Somebody's going to have to get to at least 26. Game 2, Garden Plain won game 1. Here's a serve. Ball's right into the arms of Sheehaw, or into Riedel up to Sheehaw. Moore battling with Dooley, and Moore wins the battle at the net. 25-24. Hoisington serving with Lowry, the one of 2 seniors. A chance to win game 2 for her Lady Card. Sander will set it up to Moore. Back to Sander. Sander down the line. Garden Plain struggling just slightly. Here's Sheehaw to Moore. Moore to try to get it over, but it's blocked in the middle. Back to Moore. She tips it over. Dooley's there to save it. Now another Dooley. Now it's saved on the 3rd hit by Garden Plain. Now Hoisington back, battling, sliding after it's Lowry. She gets it over the net. Dooley back over to Holcap. It goes out of bounds. Off Hoisington. Tied up again at 25. We must play to 27. Game 2. Game 1 went to Garden Plain. Garden Plain serves. Jump serve. Lowry on the second hit. Lockwood pushes it over. Here's Dooley setting it. Bourne gets it over. Now Sander back to Bourne. Bourne will get it to Dooley. Dooley to other Dooley. Dooley fires it down the line out. 26-25. Here comes Hoisington with another chance to close it out. Game number 2. Rito, the other senior, will send it over the net for the jump serve. Moore going up to trying to block it. Now it goes out of bounds. Off of Hoisington. We're going to play to 28. We're going to play to 28. You got to win by 2. We're tied at 26s. This is the sophomore Dooley serving. Jump serve, Dooley over the net. It falls in the middle, but there's Lowry. Sheehaw across court over to Damel. Damel now over to Bourne. Bourne gets it across. Sheehaw, Moore in the middle. It's going to fall. 27-26. Hoisington, another chance to close it out. Neither team with the timeout remaining here in game 2. Jordan Moore, the sophomore. Can she get game 2 victory? Bourne up with a big hit. Sheehaw into the middle. Lockwood, a big power hit, but Garden Plain runs it down. Now reset for Hoisington. Sheehaw right in the middle. Lockwood, it goes out of bounds, and it's off of Garden Plain. Game number 2 goes to the Hoisington Lady Cardinals, 28-26. We're gonna play extras. Hoisington doesn't want to go home too soon. (28-26). Court B's done. Anybody that wants to stick around will get a chance to watch Garden playing the number 1 seed and the Hoisington Lady Cardinals, the number 4 seed. Now, the information that we were told prior to this match was the only way Hoisington can advance was to win game 1 and game 2. We have not heard any other further clarification. I've asked several people, and that's still what everybody says. The Hoisington fans, they don't care if they advance or not. They're still rooting their Lady Cards on. If Hoisington can pull this one off, we'll have 3 teams tied at 2-1 in this pool play. Marysville definitely doesn't advance. They would 0-3. Hoisington will be here in front of us at the announcer's stand. (28-26). Hoisington won game 2. They lost game 1. So we'll go to a third and deciding set here. Deciding game in this set. We are at the Salina Bicentennial Center. Steve Owens, Devin Haney with you. These two teams are playing to the final game of the day, the game of the night. Hoisington won game 2, Garden Plain won game 1. We are in the third and final game. Hoisington serving up 1-0 in this game. Make it 2-0. Is that not hit on the player standing out of bounds? It hit her. How is... So we're trying to get clarification there. And I've said clarification like 45 times a day. I've said it more today and tonight than I've said it the entire life. I just don't have clarification about Hoisington being done or not. I've been told by 2 separate people that they will not advance no matter what happens here. Well, no matter what happens here, you want to try to pull off a big win over Garden Plain, the #1 seed, and build that huge momentum going into summer ball and into next year. This is a very young volleyball team for Hoisington. You got to like their chances of getting back to the state tournament next year for 3 straight years. Lowry, one of 2 seniors on this club, serves with her team leading 2-1. Lockwood stops the ball on the back row. There's a big hit by Sander. Sander hits it again. It's tipped by Garden Plain at the net, but Garden Plain will reset. Big hit by Dooley, and it goes off of Lockwood.
Yeah, as I said, Steve, I fully expect Hoisington and Southeast to be back here next year. Southeast loses just 1 senior. Hoisington just loses 2 seniors. So both these teams will be loaded and ready to go again for next season and 1 year from now.
Yes, they will. Moore right in the middle, just a sophomore. Sheehaw, just a junior. (3-2) Garden Plain now up in front. Jordan Moore up with a big hit right in the middle. Garden Plain not quite playing the way they did in game #1. Not for sure if they realized all they had to do was win game 1 and they would advance. Here comes the libero, Riedel. The other senior on this club for Hoisington. Nice jump serve. Gets another point for the Lady Cards, now up 4-3. Riedel to serve again. She likes to take that serve over from that far side of the floor to left side. Jump serve just going long. Semifinals kick off tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That means Steve-O doesn't have to get up early. And neither do you. Nice save, but they call a lift. Five to 4 Garden Plain serving, leading by 1 here in the final game of the night. Jordan Moore, a big hit, saved by Garden Plain. We'll go to the other side of the floor, onto her knees, Lockwood, but Lowry couldn't save it. Five to 4 Garden Plain serving up 1. Ball goes long off of Lowry. Seven to 4, Garden Plain with their biggest lead in a long time. Jump serve, Lockwood's there. Sheehaw tips it over with the left hand, and a nice job by Sheehaw. Hits the bottom of the floor. Point, Hoisington. Here comes Moore, the sophomore, to serve. Moore back row to Dooley. Dooley to Dooley. Back to Dooley. 7 to 5. Garden Plain by 2. Right in the middle. Lockwood bouncing them around. Finally, coming out with it was Garden Plain. But here's Hoisington to get it right back. And Lockwood knocks it home. Hoisington's within 1. Moore can serve and tie it up in game number 3. Nice tip over the net by Garden Plain. All the way across the court to Damel, into the net. 4 hits they'll call on Hoisington. Thanks again for tuning in and viewing us here on GreatBendPost.com. And thanks to Peter McCool, Landon Harmon, Ethan Woodcock, and Mr. Tim Woodcock helping us out with the video stream all day long on Great Bend Post and SolanaPost.com. 8-6, make it 9-6. Garden Plain up by 3. Hoisington could not get the ball over the net on that run. Here comes Noel Dooley, the sophomore serving. Sheehaw, Lockwood, blocked. Back to the back row. Here comes the 3rd hit over the net. Goes out of bounds. 9-7 now. That guy's loud. Cheering him on his fans. Seen some good fan support all day long by lots of the fans here today. Sheehaw all the way across to Damel. Damel couldn't get a lot on that one. That's a big hit, though, by Garden Plain that bounces off the net, goes out of bounds. Now Hoisington serving with Sheehaw within 1. 9-8, game number 3. Garden Plain won game 1. Garden Plain could not pull it off in game number 2 as Hoisington finished it off. Jump serve, Sheehaw. Right into the middle. Moore jumping up and in the air and tried to set it. And it went straight forward instead of straight up. 10-8, Garden Plain up 2. Now Lockwood trying to set it up. There's Lowry setting it over the net. Big hit right at Rito, and Rito could do nothing about that one. Garden Plain up 11-8. Now the freshman libero serves it right into the net. 11-9 now. Nice jump serve by Hoisington and Abby Damel. Sander off that right side, or make it the left side. Dooley calls off everybody, trying to get the hit for Garden Plain. Now a nice save on the other side by Garden Plain, but 4 hits, 11-10 now. Garden Plain just up 1.
That was a nice short set that time, Steve, by Hoisington. They came in and just kind of put it right at the top of the net, and instead of powering it over, they just nice little tip on the 3rd hit to get it over, and Garden Plain actually had vacancy on the floor that time.
Now the vacancy in the back row by Hoisington allows Garden Plain to get served back and a point. Now up 2, 12-10.
It's 2 teams now. It's just gut check time. This is the 3rd game in the last set of the day. It's after 10 o'clock. They've been playing all afternoon. It's whoever wants it most here. You look at the schedule. Garden Plain started the day out, and they will finish the day. So their first game was at 3:30 today, and here they are about 7 hours later still playing here at the Bicentennial Center.
We're still bringing you volleyball coverage from the state tournament with live web TV and audio. GreatBendPost.com. We've been on our sister station SolanaPost.com also today. 13-10, Garden Plain. Hoisington trying to get the ball back. They will not. 14-10 now. Timeout, Hoisington. Chance to thank one of our sponsors, like Kate's Car Quest in Hoisington, a proud sponsor of the Cardinals. Stop by for all your auto, truck, agricultural parts, hydraulic fittings, and hoses. Go Cardinals! Kate's Car Quest in Hoisington. Fourteen to 10, Garden Plain up in front. This is game 3. Great fan support for the Hoisington Cardinals here today and into this evening. Hoisington called the timeout. Garden Plain will have serve, leading by 4. (14-10). Garden Plain trying to slide after it. They will get control, but there's Lockwood tipping it over the net. Garden Plain right back at him. Now Jordan Moore has to dive towards the back row to save it, and she does, but not enough power to get it over the net. 15-10, the Owls. Garden Plain to serve. Riedel, Sheehaw, Riedel. Nice hit. Hoisington gets served back, trailing 15-11. Lockwood serves. And just like that, the ball is slammed on the back row by the power hitter we have called all day long, just a sophomore, Dooley. Lockwood probably took too many steps forward and didn't recognize how far back that line was behind her. Moore can't get it all the way down. But Lowry will step back and serve with her club trailing by 4, 16-12. Game 3. High serve. Three hits for Hoisington. Moore got it over. There's Sander to save it here on the back. Oh, 4 hits this time. (17-12). Garden Plain up by 5, now serving. Tied up 1 game apiece. Garden Plain has advanced to tomorrow, along with Southeast of Saline out of this pool. And now Sheehaw has to let it fall because she had already hit it when it hit the net. 18-12 now. Subs coming in. Sander off. Jonas on for Hoisington. Ball goes long off of Hoisington though, so point to Garden Plain. Hoisington not giving up. 19-12 now. Garden Plain trying to be the first to 20. Moore right in the middle, and it's smacked right back at Hoisington as Moore bumped it up too strong, and Coach Mingesser says, I've seen enough. I have 1 timeout left. I trailed 20-12, make it 21-12. Nope, it's 20-12. Now we're right. He's gonna burn his final timeout. Thanks for tuning in for Web TV coverage today here at the Solid Bicentennial Center. Garden Plain fans haven't sat down the entire match. Those students over there in their tie-dye shirts.
They even brought their mascot.
Yes, they did, an owl. There's 2 owls over there. I wonder how hot they are.
There is, isn't there?
There's a baby owl and a big owl. Mama owl, baby owl. Mama, maybe that's Mama and Daddy. Peter McCool, Landon Harmon, Ethan Woodcock, Mr. Tim Woodcock. Jonas out, Sanders in. 20-12, Garden Plain's up 8. The Owls are wooing and awing over there on the sideline. Now up 21-12, Garden Plain. I don't know. What I've seen, I'm thinking it's going to be Garden Plain and Hillsboro tomorrow for the state championship, but you just got to wait and see. Southeast of Saline wants to show everybody what they have. I don't know what the seeding is going to be, if it's Southeast against Garden Plain or how that's going to play out. 21-13. It's Garden Plain.
Yeah, I would. If they base it on competition today, and I don't know either, I would think they would cross over 1 versus 2. I think first place would be Hillsboro. They would take on Southeast of Saline, and Garden Plain would get Silver Lake.
Yeah, Silver Lake comes into this tournament as the number 6 seed. Southeast is the number 5 seed. Hillsboro is number 2. So the seeds hold for the top 2, but they don't for the bottom 2.
Silver Lake's not bad either. They pushed Hillsboro when they played them.
It's just like Topeka Hayden. They play a lot of competition in the higher classes. 22-13, Lockwood getting it up front. And Hoisington's trying to save it back. They will. There's Lowry. 22-13. Garden Plain, too many hits. You only can hit it 3 times. They're playing with 4. Here comes Hoisington trying to put a run together, 22-14. Moore, a sophomore. Bumps it up. Sheehaw cross over to Damel. Damel, big hit, and will go out of bounds. Garden Plain's able to save it in play, though. There's Lowry. Sheehaw, Lockwood gets it across and a point.
Boy, and Lockwood really reached behind for that one. That set would have drove her clear off the net, but she reached back. Great flexibility shown that time. And when she made contact with the ball, she swung all the way through it. It was a nice, powerful hit.
I would have fell backwards if I would have reached up for that one. Garden Plain's reaching out for a timeout.
That's why you stretch out.
22-15, Garden Plain needs a timeout to slow down Hoisington. Thank you to our fine sponsors of Hoisington High School Athletics and the Hoisington Volleyball here today at the state tournament. Salina, Kansas, Class 3A. Flyover Cafe, Cardinal Pharmacy, Marion Wilborn with Keller Real Estate, John Wright Jr., attorney at law. Kate's Car Quest and Hoisington, a proud sponsor of the Cardinals. Stop by there for your idle truck, hydraulic fitting hoses, and also Cardinal Bull. 22-15. Moore will serve. Can Hoisington fight their way back? Lowry up. Damel, big powered hit. Here comes a power hit by Dooley. There's Damel again. Back to Damel. Damel can't get it over the net though. 23-15 now. This is the sophomore Dooley serving. She's one of the better players here today at this tournament. Lockwood right back at her. It's blocked. One more point and we'll be done. Garden Plain, number 1 seed in the tournament. The number 1 seed for tomorrow. There's a high toss up into the air. And I think the ball was thrown so high up into the air, it took her rhythm away. Well, Garden Plain, if they would win here, they'll do it on defense. Sheehaw says, jump serve right at you, Garden Plain. See what you can do with it. They're going to hit it long. Sheehaw will play again with her jump serve. Her team trailing by 7. Coach Mingesser's flashing the fingers. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. He's calling the fastball. Sheehaw says it's long. Is it tipped? It's out. Ball game over. History done. Garden Plain wins 25-17. What a run for the Hoisington Cardinals, though. Hoisington Cardinals fall into But they had to go 3 max here in this final match play set. Great run for the season. Nice job, Garden Plain. Also a big hand for him. Thank you to Pete McCool and Landon Harmon and Ethan Woodcock and the coach, Tim Woodcock. Garden Plain's into tomorrow. Devon's in tomorrow with the Southeast of Saline Trojans. Let's double check here. It's Garden Plain and Silver Lake at 2. Hillsboro and Southeast of Saline. Those 2 teams have matched up already this year. Hey, thanks again for tuning in. We appreciate everything. We'll check you back on Tuesday with more Hoisington athletics. It's Hoisington football on the air, 100.7 Eagle Country and GreatBendPost.com. Have a great weekend, everyone.